What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Taking a Risk with George. I'm about an hour away from our next RV campsite, but that's not what this video is about. No. Last night, I ran into some horrific plumbing issues the night before moving day. You guys get to watch how that unfolded in this video. So smash that thumbs up button and let's get to it. Alright, it is the night before moving day, and I came out to flush the tanks. I like to do it the night before, and I noticed that we had a leak. I should probably actually just go show you guys this leak. It was a pretty bad one, and it must have just started today. And last night, we had people around a campfire, and we were talking about how crazy the water pressure here is at this park. And I was telling everybody how I loved it. We haven't had any issues with the plumbing. The honey's been worried that we were going to have some type of burst pipe, and I was like, there's no way. This is one of the best stuff. We have PEX. PEX piping is pretty good. But all of a sudden, I'm flushing this tank, and now I see this. All of this water. And I thought it's right next to the black water tank over here. I thought it was from the black water, but it was actually coming and dripping from right here. Right in this area right here. So it was coming down this little rail right here and from up around there. I know it's hard to see. Let's see if I can get a better view. There it is. You can kind of see where the water is coming down and dripping. And we were wondering what the heck that's coming from, so I had to follow it inside. But it was pretty easy to find. And thank goodness it's not a horrible mess. But because we are on a slant, the water was just dripping right here and going that way, draining immediately out. If we were level, this would have pooled. It all would have pooled right here, would have of course went down there, but it would have definitely went all over here as well. So look at that. God is good. Protected us from having a flooded bay the night before moving day. But it looks like all of these PEX fittings, something happened to them, and I don't know if it's from the water pressure or what. But my neighbor who helped me out noticed this as well. Check out how swollen this pipe is. This is what it's supposed to look like. This is what ours looks like right here, and you can see, look at that. It looks like a sausage right there being cut off. That is not good as well. So I'm gonna have to fix this as well. And this goes to our bathroom sink. And check this out. This is why I love the RV community. My neighbor, who does a lot of construction work and plumbing and all kinds of stuff, he builds houses pretty much. Gave me all the stuff I needed. I didn't have to run to the store, which is amazing. So now I just got to get this done. And with my experience in plumbing, I'm sure I can handle this. It's been a couple of years, but you never forget. I'm really hoping nothing goes wrong, because it is about 9 o'clock at night, and if something goes terribly wrong, there's no store to go to right now that's open that's going to have all the stuff that I need. Home Depot's, Lowe's, and all that Ace Hardware stuff, they're all closed already. I do have the water off. Of course, that's one of the first steps you do when you are doing plumbing. Make sure you turn your water off. So this is one of the not so fun sides of full-time RVing. But I mean, you got to do plumbing stuff in houses too. I did it all the time in our house back in Columbus. So this is nice. I like being in my bay. It's my workspace. All right, so I'm going to start with this upper one because pretty sure it was wet. There you go, a little bit on my finger there. So there's definitely moisture coming from this top one. So I am going to be replacing the plastic T-fittings with brass, just because I know they're a lot sturdier. And I don't know why they put plastic in here. I'm sure they're really good, but brass is just a little bit better in my mind. Plus, with the 1/2-inch fittings, I was talking to my neighbor about it, and it's the same one that helped us when we moved in here, when we were having issues getting into the spot. And he was just saying, because 1/2-inch is pretty much all you're going to get in here. So there's really no reason to increase it for whatever reason. Alright, so even though I'm not going to be reusing these fittings right here, I still want to get the clamps off without having to do too much damage to the piping itself. Because I could actually reuse this piping. I'm going to save it. So what I have here is a crimping tool for PEX piping. And what you'd need to do, one way you do it will actually clamp. And if you do it the other way, which is funny enough, it's the exact same thing, just a different motion. So one you do from the top, the other you do from the side. If you crimp it from the top, it closes it. If you crimp it from the side, it cuts it. So this is a definitely necessary tool for this. And And then of course it's always good to have some pliers or something else just to help bend these off. Makes it a lot easier. All right, so after getting the lock cut on these little clasps, I thought it was going to be really easy to pull them off, but as you can see, I struggled a little bit there. And then trying to get the pipe off was also an issue. And this crimper slash cutter, you can see it turns blue when it's had enough. It was giving me a struggle too. All right, so lesson learned. Bring this around. It is really hard to turn these, but bring it around so that you can actually get a better angle on it, so I'm not reaching around doing stuff that I can't see. I was struggling to get it in and get it working in this tight little space that I have, and you can see it's turning blue right there, and it's not cutting all the way through. I don't know if that was user error or if that's tool error, but I was struggling real bad with this. But just listen to my sighs and you'll know just how tired and frustrated I am. Alright, so here's where I got the bright idea to get my nail head clippers, which is an amazing tool. And you can see it was making short work of this. I was able to, well, here I am trying to cut it, but it doesn't cut immediately. I had to squish it with that, which is what it was all it was doing. It was just squishing the head, and I was able to get a better grip with my cutting pliers on there, and I was able to strip them off and pull them off, and it made it a lot easier. Getting these things in position was one of the hardest things to do, and there I am trying to cut it again, but it just couldn't cut through how thick that steel is. But with the crimper, I was able to smash it down, and then that pliers made short work of it. And then getting this thing in the right position was another struggle, but with a little bit of finagling, I was able to get it done. And that was one of the first times it actually ripped the head off, but you can see I still have to use the pliers to unclasp it. Alright, with that first part done, I can now take these pipes out and I can replace it. I am thinking this pipe right here, which leads under here, which I made adjustments for before. You guys maybe have seen that video. It leads to our outside hose, which we never used. I actually used it one time in the keys to wash sand off my feet and it leaked, so never use it again. I'm thinking about just omitting it, just letting this hang and not using it, and just making one pipe all the way up to this one right here, just to make things a little bit smoother and easier on me. That way I'm not using too many fittings that are not mine, and too many clamps. I think that'll be easier, better, especially for just right now. If I ever want to install this back again, all I'll have to do is cut, and insert a T, and then I can hook that one back up and it'll be easy peasy. Alright, here I am making some progress on getting these pipes off. I was able to get the one off pretty easily because it was much thicker than the other ones. But these 1/2 inch ones did not want to budge off of these T's. I was struggling to pull them off, and I was getting really nervous that if I kept tugging, I was going to break piping that was actually essential and that needed to stay intact. So I was tugging and tugging, but nothing was coming off. Alright, so I'm struggling to get these little 1/2 inch pieces off, so I think I am just going to go ahead and cut them and just cut my losses there. Uncrimp this one and just make a new one. Maybe it'd be helpful if you guys could see right there, and then, like I was saying, just do a nice long one for this whole thing, just from the bottom up, just a nice long one to right here, and then another short one. This is ridiculously hard. I'm trying all kinds of tools and it's just not working, so I've just got a regular PVC PEX cutter here, and I'm just going to clip right under the connection there. This one, clip. I got a towel here for all the water that's spilling around. Now instead of uncrimping these other ones, I'm just going to clip them off. So just going to clip. This one's got room to lose a little. Clip. There we go. Quick and easy. Just taking this one off. There we go. That's it. Just gonna keep this one off. Not like this. And of course take all the other pieces off, but that's all I'm doing for this one. Let it leak. Alright, there's the two pipes separated. Now I'm just gonna put brass T in there. But first, before you ever do this part, you want to put these on. You just slide them on beforehand, both sides. Since this is a T, I would technically do 3 sides, but I don't have this part yet, so before I put that part on, I'll make sure to put the ring on. And then this just goes in here. Super easy. That part goes right there. Also super easy. And you want to put these about 1/8 of an inch from the end right there. As you can see, just about right there, only about 1/8 of an inch of the pecs showing. That way it's nice and clamped where you need it. Then put this right on there. Double check that it stays in the right spot. Here we go. That is nice and on there now. Perfecto. Gonna do the other sides and get this done. Phone's about to die. It's the end of the day. Gotta charge it. But I'll show you guys when I'm done. Alright, there it is, all plumbed in. Next thing I gotta check is that I actually did it right, so I gotta go turn the water on and make sure there's no more leaks, but looks pretty good. I say I got most of them exactly where I wanted, only a couple. This one slipped a little bit as I was crimping it, so it's less than a quarter. That big blue one right there, it definitely slipped a little bit, but it should be good. All right, there we go, water's on. Let's turn the flash on. Battery's too low. Nothing seems to be leaking, but I just got notified that the toilet's leaking. There you go, you can see the drips right there. So I got a new problem to go fix. Yay! Day before moving day. Alright, so here's the issue. It's actually coming from the bidet, which is a quick and easy fix, thank goodness. I just need to tighten this nut. I don't know how that got wiggled loose, however, but this should be pretty quick and easy. Or so I like to say. Okay, funny enough, I brought my tools out here, but it was like somebody just undid it with their hand, so hopefully that'll solve the issue. Got no more drips. So let's go turn the water back on and see what happens. And the fun just doesn't stop because we're moving tomorrow. I do need to get gas in the truck today. We've got a 3-hour drive tomorrow, which isn't terrible at all, but she's probably gonna need gas as well. I probably won't need to fill up again tomorrow if I fill up tonight. It is 11:15. There's a gas station 15 minutes from here, 10 miles, that has it for $3.02 right now. So I'm gonna go collect on those sweet, sweet savings, get it done and out of the way now so I don't have to worry about it tomorrow while we're driving. I feel like it's always better to plan ahead than to wait the day of, just in case something bad happens. I don't want to have to deal with it. So, my night continues, but I'll be in bed before midnight. Son of a gun! I'm just parked in the middle of the road, because this is where the GPS brought me. It looks like somebody's house, somebody's, like, barn. There's an RV parked there, but it's definitely not a gas station. There was a gas station at the end of this road, but it's definitely not on, if it even is a real gas station. But the whole reason I even came out is because the Gas Buddy card that we use, you're only allowed $100 a day. So I figured if I got here before midnight, use as much as I can, and it will reset by midnight. That way we're not stuck tomorrow if we do need to get gas. So I don't know what I'm going to do now. I think I'm just going to keep driving. This is the first car I've seen come down this road. But that's definitely not a gas station. It's a cell phone tower. That's neat. Not a gas station. All right, so the gas station that's on the corner is actually where I was supposed to go. It took me just a little bit too far, but you can see that price right there. It says $3.15, pretty much $3.16, so not $3.02 like Gas Buddy. The app told me $3.34, probably motorcycle. But I'm gonna report the prices. I'm gonna make sure they get updated to the right thing, and I think I'm just gonna fill up here anyways. All right, this is something I haven't seen in a while, where you actually have to lift this part. It's just one thing. That's pretty cool. See how fast this goes. This might be an automatic pump where it like literally fills it up in a matter of seconds. That's pretty quick. Maybe. I don't know. Faster than normal, I think. There was one gas station I went to, and it was an old style gas station just like this one, where it was literally probably from like the 50s. And it literally filled up my tank, which was a 16-gallon tank, in less than 30 seconds. It was that fast. It like just dumped all the gas in there. Like, I was surprised when the thing clicked. I looked at it. I was like, no way. And it said $30, 16 gallons, or it was like $33 or something like that. And I kept clicking it like, there's no way. There's no way. And it was done. The attendant actually came out and she told me, it's done. You don't have to keep pressing it. It's done. So went in and paid, asked for directions, and went on my way. That was awesome. This is a really cool area where there's absolutely nobody. No lights. The only thing that's shining is that big, beautiful moon. Check that out. Let's see if we can see the man up there. Tomorrow is supposed to be another chance to catch those really cool colors in the sky, the northern lights and what have you. I really hate that these cameras aren't better at looking at the moon. The moon is one of my favorite things up in the sky. With my naked eye, I can literally see craters. Maybe. I can see shadows. And with this thing, it just looks like a light bulb. Literally don't get it. How do I fix that? Oh, there we go. You gotta turn down the brightness. There we go. That's what my eye can see. There we go. That's so cool. And it's a good thing I came tonight. Good Lord, used $83. Gonna raise it up to $84 here in a second of the $100 limit that we're allotted. And she definitely needs gas for the car tomorrow. So there we go. That worked out. All right, before pulling out, I noticed that their sign does say 305. And with the Gas Buddy app, I'm supposed to get 3 cents off, so that would have been 302 like it was supposed to be. But of course, you guys saw I just put it for 315, so I don't even know what... Is that false advertisement? I don't think so. I think I just got to bite the bullet on these types of instances. Later. All right, it is officially moving day, and once again, the fun does not stop. I just got done helping my neighbor partially install his new tankless water heater, which now I want to do one in mine. So I started looking at ours a little bit closer, trying to fix this drip. I accidentally depressed these. Don't do that when you don't have a hose hooked up because it all leaked out. But I did stop the leak that was coming from the piping. And my neighbor was looking at ours, and he noticed this is a 2020 unit. And look at that, the hot water tank is from 4/1/2017. So somebody replaced our, I'm gonna guess, our manufacturing one with an older one. And that explains all this for us. Check out that anode rod. That's the water that's coming into our unit. Woo-wee! Some tough water in this area. Probably should turn this off just in case. Since we're not using it, I turned the whole water system off. So I'm gonna get the rest of the water off out of this, and hopefully that leak will stop. All right, I got the Flexzilla hose attached. Coming out right there, so let's see if this works. Hopefully there's no leak from this side. All right, good. That means all the pressure is released. All right, so the issue is still there, but if this is flipped the other way, it leaks a lot more. So this is the lesser of two evils. So I'm just gonna keep it like this right now until I can get a replacement for that. All right, so my neighbor, once again, coming to the rescue. The hot water tank that we just took out of his unit, he's gonna let me actually swap out my valve with his. But I temporarily fixed the issue by just turning it upwards. The drip is a lot slower now. But this thing just comes out pretty easily. You just gotta make sure you get the wrench on there. I got this big old heavy duty forged alloy steel, and you just put it on the front, just like this, and you pop it up. But now at this angle, I gotta go from the back, but this thing is way too big, so I'll have to figure out something else. All right, so here it is all taken out, and this thing has definitely seen better days. Holy moly, no wonder it was leaking. It is all rusted up, but the one that I'm about to replace it with looks much better. Hopefully it fits right. All right, and here's the replacement. You can see that looks much nicer. Very little corrosive damage, if any. Let's get this on there. Before I get the new one attached, I am just gonna stick this wire brush in there and try to get some of this calcium deposit or whatever these mineral deposits are out of there, just so it has a little bit of a smoother insert. It doesn't instantly start corroding the new one. All right, so new one is installed, looking good. Hopefully it holds and we have no leaks. Be nice. Let's turn the water back on and find out. Our water system got it easy on and off right here. Highly recommend one of these. Let's check it out. This has to refill. A lot of water did come out of it, so this might take a minute. So I'll tune you guys back in when that happens. All right, it's been several minutes later and we still don't have any drippings coming out of here. So I'm gonna call that a success and finally get on to the rest of our moving day things. We're running way behind. All right, so that's gonna be it for this episode. We really do gotta get this thing packed up and start our move because we are way behind. But before I do that, I just wanted to give one more big special thank you to Robbie, our neighbor. Thank you again so much for helping us out, for having everything I needed on the spot to make this job effortless, pretty much so. and get us on our way. That was really a blessing, and that's one thing I truly do love about the RV community. The neighbors are always so friendly, and it always works out on our behalf, and our kids, of course, all become friends and stuff like that, and it's really cool. I love that aspect. So if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. It really does help the channel a lot. And make sure you go and subscribe down below if you haven't already, and turn that little bell notification to all, that way you're notified the instant we upload a new video. In the description below, you'll find 3 other links for our Instagram, our TikTok, and Facebook. All of those could use some love. And in the comment section below, drop me a tip. Why not? I could use it. I just worked so hard getting this plumbing done. You got to tip your plumber, so don't forget to do that. And remember, we love you all, and life's a lot more fun when you're taking a risk.